Hello everyone, this is Mr. Rob Ronan here again, and my god, whoever the balance team is at or controlling DNF Duel has absolutely no chill. I've gone through the changes for my mains, Vanguard and Launcher, and they were already ridiculous, and Crusader was kind of my tertiary main. I played him a bit just because he's so fun and looks so cool, and oh, Mary, holy Jesus. They have no chill. They buffed this character like crazy. Oh, it's just too crazy. I don't even know what to say. Let's just get straight into the changes. I imagine the patch is going to come out soon, like in the next day or a few days or so. And I want to know what exactly is changing. I'll go through all the characters, but as a selfish FGC person, I've got to go through my mains first. So Crusader, they can't even sum up all the changes, like his main changes in this little blurb here. They just say, his attacks are more useful. That's about all they can say because he's got changed so much. So he got a tiny bit of extra life and a decent amount of extra guard gauge just to make him more beefy on defense. And he was already a beefy character with a lot of life, and his awakening effect was already super good, but they just made it even better. So now the increased health, increased guard break resistance, increased doesn't take chip damage, all of these are even stronger. So now when he gets into awakening, I guess he just doesn't die. He just won't die. You better kill him before he goes into awakening, or else he'll just walk towards you and you won't be able to kill him. And like most big characters, like Hitman and Vanguard as well, they reduced the hurt boxes of his crouching and crouching guard so that they can actually get under some crouchable projectiles and things that they used to not be able to get under, which is, it's nice. But this is where they start to get into the war crimes of his balance. So his A's, which are already pretty strong, like his crouching A, they made it faster, reduced the recovery, and launched the opponent higher. I don't really care about this one, like people don't really use it in juggles. But this button, which I'm not entirely sure how fast it is, like probably 10 frames or 9 frames or something, it's not the fastest, but it was already super good. Like it already chained into itself, was plus on block, you could go into combos and stuff of it, especially on counter hit. But like, this was plus on block, he mashed on it so much, now has less recovery, so I imagine he can just do that a lot more easily. Or if it's reduced enough, he can probably just go into his standing lights and that'll actually combo. And now it's faster as well. What the hell? Now this is just, it was already a button that people mashed on and now it's just going to be easier to mash on it. His airborne A has less random recovery, but no one cares. No one even used that button. His standing B has reduced recovery. Now, this doesn't seem like much, it's just one change. But if you remember in the trailer where they showed off some things, do you remember Launcher when she did her big cannon and everyone, like Sonic Soul and everyone, thought that she was dash canceling it? That change in the patch notes just reads as reduced recovery. So having reduced the recovery can mean a wild amount in these patch notes. So it could be reduced enough that I doubt it would be plus on block, but I imagine that this thing will be more safe, but it might even be able to link into his lights. Like that's something he can kind of do now at certain ranges on counter hit, but I imagine now he's just gonna be like the complete backwards gatling character. So he can go like sweep, A, and then light, and then go into his special moves and stuff like that. Like, is he just the backwards gatling guy? That's his thing now? He's already crazy, but now he just gets more combo potential from his regular buttons, I suppose. And he just like does combos backwards to everyone else. That's kind of cool. His jump B, just like increased hit stun so we can combo off of it more easily. The opponent staggers upon grounded counter hit. So I don't know when they say stagger, if it means like it just has more like hit stun, and the opponent stands there for longer going like, and they just mean more hit stun, or maybe it like actually puts them into like a crumple state, or I don't know what kind of thing they actually mean by the stagger. Because this is already a pretty wild jump in. It hits at the peak of his jump against most characters, and just like slightly below peak. It's really, really strong. And if it like really is super easy to combo off of, and if it now puts them into like a crumple state or something when they get hit on counter hit, I have no idea. But that would be crazy. And now they bounce off the ground when they get hit airborne, which I'm a bit curious about. Maybe it'll be like this kind of bounce where they like, how much of a bounce are we talking right here? They get hit when they're airborne. Now it kind of just goes into a hard knockdown, which is actually quite good. I don't know why they would change this. Because like they're in a hard knockdown and you can go for like your setups into like whatever you want. Usually people set up into the orb or whatever. Like when the bull's out, because it hits really meaty. But now if it's a bounce, I wonder if it'll like you hit this and it's like going like this, and they bounce up, and maybe you can get like comboed into other things more easily. I don't know. We'll see. Now, his big hammer swing, it staggers them upon grounded hit. And I thought that said counter hit at first, but just grounded hit. And I was wondering, what are they changing about it? And they mentioned this for the aerial version as well. Yeah, down here. Staggers upon grounded hit. And I wonder if this means that it doesn't pop the opponent up anymore. Because staggers upon grounded hit, like what does that even mean? It's not on block, like it doesn't like do a guard break like in Guilty Gear. So does it mean that it doesn't bounce the opponent and it just hits them like anything else, and they're just like, oh, I got hit by your massive hammer. Like maybe it's just like you hit this. But instead it's this massive hammer. I don't know. And that could be a buff or a nerf. It could be a nerf if you like consider some of the wall combos. You kind of need that extra height to get certain types of juggles or things. So maybe having the opponent not go into the air and be able to be like comboed from full screen could be kind of a nerf. But that could also lead to like new combos that just make him even stronger. So I really don't know about that change. And I also don't know if it means that it doesn't bounce the opponent. So I don't want to theorize too much. Now his forward special and backward special now have basically the same gatling potentials as all the other characters. So now he, just in terms of his special moves, except for his standing special, he can just gatling like normal characters. So he can go this, into Projectile, or like we saw in the trailer, this, into his conversion. So if the opponent tries to guard break, he can be like, oh, not conversion, into his parry. So like they try to guard break, he's like, oh, no you won't. But which is also good like on pressure, maybe like if he's trying to mash buttons, or if he's doing his crouching this and the opponent tries to like DP out of it or something, he can go like, ooh, oh, into that. Probably already do that, honestly. But being able to go into the orb, I feel like is what's going to be more useful, because now he has just more gatlings off of the things where it would have been the end of his gatling, and he usually had to spend metered in order to get pressure, which is kind of what they were talking about in the blurb. They said he doesn't have to spend MS in order to do anything, so he recovers MS a lot quicker now. So now if you like just want to not spend meter, you can probably just do stuff like this and then throw the orb out. And depending on where you are, it might combo or it might not, but it'll just, is something to do after his buttons where he usually would have to spend meter in order to do anything off of it. You can like do stuff like this, blast the opponent away, and he just gets some options. Yeah, like obviously even if it doesn't combo, he just gets something meaty, gets something to do where he doesn't have to just combo into wall or combo into this, which means that he's going to be able to save his meter and spend it like an absolute madman when he actually does get the right hits, which was already pretty terrifying, and now that he can save his meter more effectively, oh god. And this is kind of the same change as what we were talking about up here. It maybe doesn't bounce the opponent, but I don't want to be too confident about that because that sounds really weird. I just don't know. I don't know. Now his standing MS reduced the startup for a vulnerability against projectiles, which I thought was kind of interesting because I thought it was already pretty instant. People have used this quite a bit against projectiles, so maybe it's now like down to like 2 frames in, or it starts like really early or something. Because you know Crusader, this character really struggled with his full screen presence. He didn't have any options to contest it further ranges. He was just completely helpless. So now he can just like go through projectiles super easily and then, I don't know, do what he wants. Did he get any other changes? Extended the untech time upon first hit. Oh yeah, that was also an interesting change. I don't know if the opponent used to be able to like fall out of it sometimes. Like maybe after really long combos. I don't know, I didn't play enough Crusader to know much about this change, but maybe after super long combos or something, like the opponent fell out of it, I don't know. But I guess it'll just be more consistent if it ever wasn't. And the Spear of Victory. You know what was wrong with this special move? It needed some reduced recovery, because this thing just wasn't that useful. It wasn't plus enough. This full screen, and like that can be used full screen or like close up, just to completely like annihilate the opponent from anywhere. Go into combos, into your walls, or even combo into your this, depending on the distance. It was just not that good, when the opponent, I don't know how to use these menus. It just didn't do its job enough. He couldn't do this, couldn't whoop, and whoop, well enough. And I think he can do like even do like cars with it, I think. Yeah, like that. He just couldn't do it well enough. Okay, that's really embarrassing. I can't do these cars very well. Yeah, he's just not good enough at this. So we should make it better. So I guess he's just gonna be more plus after that, and you could just go into more of his ridiculous full screen plus stuff. And his, oh, this was a cool change. So now the Apocalypse, which is, you know, people often really use his, they go into this and then they use this as the ender because it takes him out of it, it leads into a hard knockdown and stuff. But now, using the more ridiculous, crazy ender, where he does this, puts his orb in the screen, and then after a while, it does some ridiculous whack stuff. Does like half of your life in chip damage, and like half of your guard gauge. Now this is actually more useful. So some of the more ridiculous stuff just becomes more easier to use. So it's cheaper and reduces recovery. So now he can like take an air action after he does it, according to the notes. So he can more easily take an air action, they say. So when I go for it, he used to have to like wait to fall to the ground, and it used to be really punishable, so you had to use it in like really, really long hard knockdowns or else you wouldn't get a chance to use it. Now he can like do it, and then I will be able to go for like a falling thing. Like go for something like that. Imagine! That's so crazy. And then he gets to like completely jail into it. He didn't get this as a jump cancelable, but if he was able to, I don't know, just do anything. Like if the opponent's in a hard knockdown, I already have this on, or I, you know, put this out, I'm able to like enforce my pressure, especially if it's cheaper, I might have a chance of having some meter afterwards. I can probably go into the wall after that. How do I lower my life, give myself more meter? How much does it do right now? Or how much does it cost right now? So that costs a lot, and that also costs a lot. So it says it's cheaper, and I'm just curious how much cheaper they actually mean, because it's pretty crazy. And if you're able to set up more easily, and, ooh, wait, what did I just do? Oh yeah, you won't get all that meter back from the conversion, but you're able to like go for ridiculous like pressure like this. That's crazy. And you don't even have to go for that. You could do and then like that works, and then you get like free stuff that way. And you'll also be able to go like, you know, jump that into orb, because you'll have that now. So do into orb, and then by that time the laser's probably already about to go down. So then you can go for like a strike throw, and then by the time the laser's probably about to come down, and then you get to combo off of that. Come on, these changes are so crazy, and I can't wait. Oh my god. They said, like, they already had their impression that this is going to be a crazy game. Crusader, buff everyone constantly. They weren't lying. They have zero chill. They buffed the hell out of this character that people already complain about. And I haven't even read the patch notes of the likes of Striker and Swiftmaster. So I don't even know whether this is crazy, but it already sounds ridiculous to me. But yeah, the patch is going to come out soon. Every character is going to be ridiculous. And luckily, my three mains, from what I've read so far, seem like they're going to be pretty good in this patch. And I'll have to read the rest to see how good they are in comparison. But I don't even care. I'm just excited that my characters seem way more fun than they used to be. And they were already fun. So I'm frothing at the mouth to try them out in this new patch. And I hope you are too. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you there. Goodbye.